Hello and welcome back to another video. Today's video is the male model build for the model Let's Play, as well as their apartment build. So the apartment build didn't take me very long, it took me a lot longer in Creator Sim, which is probably not a surprise. So here I am just creating the very first guy for the Let's Play. We're just choosing out his clothing. I'm very excited though, because at the end of this week we really will officially start the model Let's Play, and we will also start the Disney Legendary Let's Play. So very excited about both of those things. So here I am just kind of putting together, I wanted them to be more of a casual laid back sim, you know, the nice top. I think those are the jeans I end up leaving him with. A bit more casual, you know, he's not suits and ties and very dressed up as a sim. He's more of a very relaxed, laid back. So we're putting together a sportsman now, putting him some nice socks, putting him his pyjamas, and then we're moving on to his party wear, which, like the woman, the party wear is a bit more out there and a bit more extreme. I personally never use this suit piece, but I just didn't think it would look very good, but I actually like the way that looks in this particular instance. I don't think you'd really want to have that as your formal wear all the time, but it's a nice shake up, a bit of a change. So just making him a little bit more bulky, and his name is Brody. Brody is a serial romantic. You know, he's not the nicest guy in the world. He's not looking to settle down or have anything serious. Here we are creating our next sim. I wanted him to seem like a pretty boy, you know? I've got a lot of friends who are really into pretty boys, and I just thought it might be a nice change. So he's got the light dyed here. I believe that colour does change in the end. I go for something a bit more. Does it change, or do I end up keeping it the same? I don't remember. I do change it to something a bit more pretty boyish. That's right, I make it so it's undyed, it's blonde. So here I am putting together his everyday wear, and I also went casual for him. I went light colours, kind of to match his blonde hair. I wanted him to seem like, you know, boy next door, pretty boy, all that sort of ness, you know. He's not interested in wearing suits and always being dressed up and fancy. He's very fashionable, but in a much more casual way. So just editing his body a little bit there. Now I'm putting on a suit for him. So again, he's very casual. I mean, most of the guys are casual, but he is casual as well. Here I am editing his sportswear. Just putting him in a nice, again, light coloured white outfit, and I kind of decided that I wanted him to look a little bit like a jock, you know, a bit sportsy, enjoys being out there on the field. I decided to leave him with the white robe, and then for his party wear, I went quite different. I decided that, you know, I've never really used the woolen jumper with the turtleneck before, so I decided to try that out a little bit. I've always thought it would be quite a cool turtleneck for a criminal. So just double checking all of his outfits, pretty happy with that, and we've named him Sebastian. Sebastian is, he's a friend of the world, he's a nice guy, you know, he's nothing out there. Sebastian does have a more interesting side that he likes to keep hidden though, which we'll explore throughout the Let's Play. You know, he's a bit more, he's not evil, he's mean, it's one of his traits, but we'll see how that goes with that kind of trait. So here we are putting him together, and as you can probably tell from the hair already, he's very out there, very outgoing, very interesting. He's definitely the kind of guy that likes to put on a suit and dress up. He's a very nice guy. He likes a good reason to put on a suit and dress up and be fancy. And his style is a bit more interesting. It's not exactly a nice suit and tie, it's more of an extreme kind of very out there outfit. So I like the way that came around. And here we are working on his athletic wear. And here we are working on his athletic wear. So I wanted to go for kind of more athletic wear I wouldn't normally go for him. You know, even when he's dressing up to go out and play some sport, he's still very interesting. I loved the fact that he started off with those glasses in his sleepwear. Like, he was born to be. Born to be a bit more flamboyant, fabulous. As far as sexual orientation goes in these Sims, I haven't decided that or explored that. I think I will see throughout the Let's Play, you know, how they kind of progress and what sort of people they turn out to be interested in, whether that be aliens or men or women or, you know, just anyone that they find themselves attracted to. I've always found with Sims that sometimes they're just not interested in the kind of sim you've set them up for. So I do like that Sims are a bit more in love with a person, not a specific gender or anything like that. I think it's quite interesting. So here we are working on guy number 4. And I wanted to go a little bit more, what's the right word for him? A bit more hippie-ish. You know, he too wants to be a model, but he's not your typical looking model in any way. I mean, he's got the big beard, the man bun, which is in at the moment, and actually what he came with. And I decided that I would put him in interesting suits I've never used before. So here he is in this purple flower suit, which I really like. I think that's quite a nice suit, and then we go into his formal wear. I think most of his outfits are actually from the full body outfits. I don't think he has very many t-shirt and pants kind of outfits. So we're just throwing him on some sportswear, nothing too fancy, you know, very casual. Putting him in a nice robe. 2 of the guys wear robes. Oh no, I ended up going with the heart underwear, which I thought was very interesting. And here I am putting him in a flowery, what's kind of, I'd say lacy kind of flower suit. And finally getting into swimwear, just throwing him on some nice shorts. And he is, he's musical, I believe. Yeah, an author. So he's a little bit different. He's got a very interesting past that we will explore throughout the Let's Play. He's very different to the other guys, and I ended up calling him Reed Nelson. So here we are at the apartment build, and I did just notice that we skipped out one of the guys' traits and name, so I will introduce you all to the Sims properly in the first part. So I didn't actually have any idea what kind of house this was. I forgot to look at the lot traits and to discover that this is, I believe, the one with the ghosts where they all haunt the house. So I thought it was pretty cool that there were kind of wall plates, you know, with the members of the household who died on it. I think it'll add a little bit more interesting into the guy's story. That's definitely for sure being haunted a little bit more by these older Sims. Will definitely be very interesting for the Let's Play, which I thought was a nice addition that I hadn't realised was going to be part of this. So here I am putting together the second bathroom for the guys. I decided they didn't really seem like the kind of guys that would have en-suites. They're kind of, you know, two bathrooms, as well as that each of the guys have their own room and one of them sleeps in the living room. I put up a little wall divider type curtain thing there to give him some privacy. You know, guys aren't really, these guys wouldn't share. You know, so they were willing to compromise, and one of them is sleeping in the living room. So now, again, they have a bit more personality in their home, but like the girls, I'm excited to explore how that's going to go later on in the Let's Play. So we're just doing up the living room, adding in some lights now, which I weirdly forget quite often in my builds. I always forget a rubbish bin, lights and smoke alarms. So I've been really working on getting it a little bit better. I thought about writing a post-it note to remind myself of those before I finish starter home builds. I do prefer a starter home build. I don't know why, but I tried to fit the table there in the kitchen and it didn't work, but we ended up putting it out on a nice angle. You know, the guys are a bit more messy. They haven't furnished their house completely. They haven't put a lot of work into it, so, you know, not like the girls who are wanting a bit of a nicer house. These guys are more relaxed, laid back, just want to have a good time, you know. They've moved to the big city like the girls. They're from different parts of the place. They aren't interested in having a really nice, fancy apartment. Lots of seats in this apartment for the guys to entertain a lot, because I do feel like they'll have a lot of people over. And I think about putting a rug down, but I realised the guys really wouldn't have spent their money on a rug. So I ended up getting rid of the rug, and here I am just kind of contemplating how I want to spend the last of their money. So I'm about to delve into a little bit of furniture. I put in a bar and stuff. Just getting a nice bookshelf. The guys, again, much like the girls, are very into entertaining. So, you know, they're going to be a little bit more, they're going to have a little bit more stuff there for entertaining. I put in a nice foosball table and dartboard to entertain the guests, and then I tried to put in one of those, but I couldn't do it in the end. So I'm putting in drawers now for all the different guys, you know, to have nicer, you know, every guy needs a set of drawers. And, you know, this is the furniture they've moved in with, so they're fresh out of their homes. They're not going to have anything too nice or too fancy yet. It'll be nice to see them move into nicer apartments, possibly even on their own. I feel like everybody in this Let's Play would eventually move out into their own apartments, you know, relationships will get started, whether that be with other Sims or between these guys, we don't know. So here I am putting in the curtains. It takes me a little bit of time. I don't really know what I was trying to do here, but I end up, I think, putting them right next to each other anyway, very close to each other. So that, yep, there we go. So that it gives him a little bit more privacy, but not so much privacy as a wall. He didn't really put that much effort into the furniture. He just threw up some nice curtains in the living room to cover it up. Adding in, here we are putting in the living room TV, because the guys will be entertaining a nice radio and a PlayStation or console device. Not sure what the brand that Sims has gone with is. So we're just changing the colour of the beds and moving the bar and adding a little bit more detail to the kitchen, because it did seem a little bit plain and boring to me, and I thought it would look a bit nicer if we added in some nice detail. So I just added in the bar there. It's going to look like it sticks out. I thought it looked very cute in that little alcove. So I'm now just adding a smidge of detail to the kitchen. Again, it's not a very nice kitchen. It's not that fancy. But I do believe I end up adding a sink in here. I mean, I've forgotten that at the moment, but I think I add a sink. Yeah, just in there, and a nice bar stool in the corner, which I thought was very cute. And I think this is where I leave the build. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and you were looking just as excited to me as this Let's Play.